Take a breath. Feel your heart. Tune into your heart and the energy there. Can you feel that energy? Today is Free Yourself Friday, and I'm Lisa Renee, and I got a new definition from my yoga practice, my devotional practice that I have incorporated yoga into. This is what I received this morning. We're going to talk about Dakini. What does Dakini mean? Because I was listening to this music from this Aurora music site. I can't remember the full name of the site, but I found it, and I was doing my yoga practice with it, and then I noticed at the top it said Dakini. I don't know, something about Dakini. So I'm like, what is that? And so I put it into ChatGPT, and it spit out what it was, and I was like, oh my God, that's what I do. I channel the divine feminine and teach people to listen to that guidance that we're getting, because the feminine is awakening, and there is nothing that's going to stop it. It's so amazing, this force that's awakening in all of us, and we are so needing it right now in the world. So what I do is I teach people to tune into that and listen to that and allow it to lead them instead of the ego and the mind leading you. And also integrate all of these polarities. So I incorporate a lot of the psychological, because I was a marriage and family therapist, still am, but I'm letting that go. And I taught psychology at a community college. So I incorporate a lot of those theories and ideas, which is like masculine scientific, into my work in teaching people to lead with the feminine, lead with their spirit, and tune into that energy. So it's that integration between the masculine and the feminine, between science and spirituality, and probably a lot more. But I was really excited when I came across this, and this is kind of how I would describe my work. I'm a sovereignty coach, so I teach people and guide people into their wholeness. Into that, like integrating their feminine and their masculine, but really guiding people on the intuitive path of the awakened feminine. The inner knowing that rises when we stop rescuing others, stop abandoning ourselves, and return to the truth within. This path isn't about gender. That was bothering me before, because I didn't want to just work with women and leave men behind. I had a very strong connection with my dad, and he was more of that spiritual feminine energy than my mom was. She had more of the hard masculine energy because she needed to survive. So I had a really interesting parental upbringing, my mom being more masculine, my dad being more feminine. And I had a very strong connection with my dad. So I didn't want to leave men behind in my work. We all have the masculine and the feminine within us, and the feminine is what's awakening. It's about awakening the receptive, magnetic, soul-led energy inside every human. When you listen to that deeper self, life reorganizes around your truth. And it's so true. And as you start on this path and you continue on this path, you have to leave more of that matrix energy behind. Like I didn't even watch the Matrix, but it's that control, mechanistic worldview that doesn't include the feminine. And so once you start on this path, you start to realize that you can't go back to that fear-driven path anymore. And whenever you try to, it just messes you up, and it doesn't integrate, because that part is not integrated. You are learning to integrate, and so that doesn't work for you anymore, and you can't listen to those voices or those people anymore, or those systems anymore. Anyway, so it's Free Yourself Friday, and I want to talk about the Dakini, which I just learned about. Okay. I said, what is Dakini's guide? I think that was what it said in the music. And it said, it isn't one single universally defined text. The meaning depends on the lineage or context. But in spiritual, tantric, and mystic traditions, a Dakini's guide, sorry, these glasses are actually too strong, typically refers to teachings, transmissions, or inner instruction that comes from the Dakini energy itself. Here are the main interpretations. In Tibetan Buddhism, Dakini is a feminine embodiment of wisdom, movement, transformation, and awakened energy. So also in my yoga practice this morning that I was doing, I've had that Kundalini awakening, which is that energy that moves in you. And it moves in me like almost by itself. That's what it feels like. It feels like it moves within me. I'm not consciously moving, but it moves me. And so in my yoga practice, that was happening. And it was really cool. It was like dancing my yoga. So I'm saying that because it relates to this energy. A set of teachings believed to be revealed or transmitted by a Dakini. These are sometimes called Dakini instructions, Dakini guidance, Dakini terma. Hidden teachings revealed at the right time. They are usually intuitive, direct, and bypass the rational mind, often arising as flashes of insight, visions, dreams, or deep inner knowing. In Tibetan Tantra, Vajrayana, I don't know how you say that, sorry. A Dakini's guide may refer to the inner feminine principle guiding the practitioner through transformation, shadow work, which is something that I do, death, rebirth cycles, deep embodiment, awakening the subtle body. It's also the voice of intuition and soul truth that cuts through illusion. See, we're also awakening from illusion, and that's also leaving the matrix. As we awaken to that being an illusion, it's very difficult, this in-between place. It's very difficult. Okay. Similar to your work, they're talking about my work, of following inner guidance, reclaiming sovereignty, integrating parts. In Shakti, tantric goddess traditions, Dakinis are cosmic messengers, embodiments of Shakti. A Dakini's guide could be a manual for working with feminine sacred energy, a channeled messages from the Dakini realm, or a path of spiritual liberation led by fierce feminine wisdom. I'm so excited about this. In contemporary spirituality, many modern teachers use Dakini's guide to mean the intuitive path taught by the awakened feminine, including erotic innocence, which I also want to start talking about. That's cool. Sovereignty, authenticity, breaking old conditioning, following bliss over obligation, receiving inner wisdom. So this is like all my work. So when I found this, I'm like, holy shit, like this is what I do. Oh my God, I'm so excited about this. I'm going to incorporate this into my website, which is evolving, and I haven't gotten it up yet because it isn't feeling right yet. And this is like a new piece that I'm adding, which is really like, it's starting to get there. I want my website to be sovereign, and it isn't yet. So I'm working on that. This aligns deeply with your own philosophy that we are whole as spirit and rediscover ourselves by integrating fragmented parts through love. Okay, did I say all of that? Breaking old conditioning, following bliss over obligation, receiving inner vision. That's what I do. I help teach people this, or, get them to tune into it within themselves. I'm not really, I don't know, it's a little bit teaching, guiding, coaching, spiritual life coaching. But I'm super excited about it because this is really my path and what's inside of me. And then I put that in, and then I said something about the integrating the masculine and the psychological and the scientific with the feminine and the intuition and the soul-led. And it said, yes, nobody is doing this. This is your path. And I was like, yeah, that's what I feel. But I do want to talk about today for the Free Yourself Friday, following bliss over obligation. So that is freeing yourself from obligations. Yeah, freeing yourself from obligations. So it's Free Yourself Friday, free yourself from obligations. I'm going to use some cards for that, like I did the other day, kind of integrating with the cards, because I'm not sure what I want to say about that. So I need a little assistance from Spirit. So I'm going to go with the Light Seers Tarot. I didn't do that the other day. I didn't do the tarot. I did Oracle. So this, in case you missed yesterday's video, Theoretical Thursday, is how I'm demonstrating how we co-create with Spirit. We set an intention. My intention is I want to talk about following our bliss over obligation. So letting go, or it's not that the obligations aren't there. It's that we follow our bliss before the obligation, and the obligation gets incorporated or reframed into our bliss. It becomes a servant of our spirit. It's like the ego stuff that becomes a servant of our spirit. So if you want to create if you have some sort of creative process, you want to start something creative, a creative project. And I'm going to say I would say but let's just say you have these other obligations of, you have to do your bills, you have to do your taxes, you have to go to work and perform these job responsibilities. When you view it within that overall frame of your creative project and your creative vision, it becomes something that is a necessary task as a part of that. And then it becomes something that you want to do more. See, I actually didn't know what I wanted to say. I got a little bit blocked by my ego and my mind. All right, so a couple cards came out. Let's see what they are. Maybe there's something here. So as I was saying, what I'm using to demonstrate co-creation is setting an intention. My intention is to talk about following bliss over obligation, and then see what messages I get back from Spirit. I'm simplifying the process. It's a bigger, longer process, which I can talk about in another video because I have a little more clarity on that too. And that will be part of my work, my spiritual life coaching. Okay, so we got the Knight of Pentacles upside down and the Nine of Pentacles. So these are like both earth energy. The pentacles are earth energy, and that's kind of creating and bringing your ideas down into form. Okay. So the Knight of Pentacles. Let's see what Spirit wants to tell us about this, following bliss over obligation. So I set an intention and I see what Spirit or God or life gives me back in terms of the cards. This is just a demonstration. It's only one way. Life gives you messages in all kinds of ways, basically every way. I open to the Nine of Pentacles first. And this is kind of what's been happening to me. It's left and right. So the Knight of Pentacles is on the left, which we normally read left to right. And the Nine of Pentacles is on the right. But what we're trying to practice is being more soul-led, more spirit-led. And that's the right brain. It's the left body, but the right brain. So what my cards have been mirroring is reading right to left instead of left to right. It's just what it gives me first. So I know I just recognized that pattern that was happening. So the Nine of Pentacles is, I enjoy the bliss and abundance that I have sown. You see how Spirit responded to me? Because I have a clear channel now. I've cleared out a lot of energy and noises. And so I have a clear channel now. You can do that too. We can all do that. I enjoy the bliss and abundance that I have sown. Okay. Spiritual and material, that's the Nine of Pentacles, and we got that right side up. Spiritual and material satisfaction, personal achievement, inner peace, milestones met and celebrated, the energy of a successful harvest, contentment. So it's that being able to appreciate where you are and how far you've come and be grateful for that. And that's the receptive energy that draws in your good and your bliss and abundance, enjoying what you've already created. That's the message. Okay. You know those moments when everything feels a little bit brighter? You are reaching one of those moments, a culmination of hard work and desire, when you will be stepping out into your manifested hopes. These moments of spiritual and material bliss are highly personal and serve as funnels of glowing success. Look for this feeling as it surges into your heart and use its power to move mountains. Spread love and enjoy your harvest. And what I want to say about that, what's coming up for me, which is also part of the co-creation, is Spirit gives you something and then you allow something to come up in you and you meet Spirit with that, or you meet life with that. As I'm meeting life with you right now, I'm meeting you right now and saying to you, telling you this little story about how my grandmother, who I love and really had such a hard time letting go of my grandmother when she passed, because for me, she was love. And when she left the world, it felt like this vacuum had sucked all the love out of the world. And I had to then learn how to love myself and how to be love and to experience love in life. And at her funeral, her sister came up to me and she said, she thought you could move mountains. And I always remember that because sometimes I forget my own power. But I remember that and I draw strength a lot from that. And there's something else I want to say. My grandmother has also been a guide for me. Her presence. She was such a present person, present with me in the moment. And I wanted to be able to embody that same presence that she had, because that was such a gift to me, her love and her presence. And that was love. That's what I learned to be love. And I've just been trying to practice that. And she closely followed Jesus. And I have always closely tried to follow Jesus. And that is also what Jesus embodies. Go ahead and bask. You deserve it. Spending some time alone will help you to process your progress. Then celebrate. I've been struggling with this too, because God or Spirit has been guiding me to take this time for myself. But I don't have income coming in, and so that's been really scary and hard to just do. It's required a lot of faith and trust, and people on the outside don't understand it. So that's also been hard when I have to interact with people and tell them where I'm at and have their judgments come in on me. Because it does affect me. I can come back to center and then I can be grounded again. But it rocks me and it contracts me. Then celebrate. In shadow, this card suggests that you may be working too hard and not seeing enough in return, which is what I was doing. And I'm now coming back to the guidance of Spirit, soul, the feminine. Examine feelings of self-worth and look at your energy balances in and out. The rewards must always equal your energy expenditure, and if you sense an imbalance, then it's time to make amends. The harmony and harvest you seek are in front of you now. So tuning in to that and being present, being very present with that. Finding that balance. Okay, so I think that speaks to the obligation and the bliss. So it's also finding that balance, following your bliss, and then coming back in and what do I need to do to keep following my bliss? But having that back and forth flow of energy. Okay, so now we're going to do the Knight of Pentacles, which is on my left. And that is actually upside down. So let's see what the upside down is. The shadow in this one. Okay, so the shadow side of the Knight of Pentacles. I'm going to show you it up right side up so you can see the picture. But I think it has to do with hard work, actually. Yeah, the light side of it is diligence and hard work, determination, steadfastness, building materials, security, safety, being pragmatic, expansion. I think it's that very masculine energy of doing, working hard, determination. It's something that I have very strongly within me, and I have to balance it with the feminine, receptive, relaxed, and because that's when information and your gifts come into you when you're receptive. We need that, and we've been programmed to think that we don't need that. It's been eradicated from our culture, and we need to bring it back. It's such an important part. Okay, so the shadow side is focusing solely on wealth, workaholic tendencies, being selfish or cold, laziness, taking harmful shortcuts. So it could be both. It could be either stagnation or feeling stuck, being overly conventional, listening to our society and our culture and what they tell you is right, as opposed to what you know from within, your intuition, what your intuition is telling you. Okay, so it says, seed by seed, I plant my future with my rock-steady foundations of faith. He's toiling and tilling his lands and enjoying every minute of it. You can enjoy it. You can enjoy your obligation when it's tied to your creation, what you're guided here to do, your purpose, what your soul is leading you towards. You can enjoy every minute of the process. I really am finding that I can be in the present moment more and enjoy things that I wouldn't normally have enjoyed and would have felt like heavy obligations. But because they're led by this bliss of my creating my dream, they don't feel like that anymore. And also because I'm in co-creation with my partner, my boyfriend, for me. That feels good. But it doesn't have to be a person. It could be spirit. And sometimes for me, it is spirit. It isn't just my boyfriend. It's life, it's spirit. I'm co-creating with life and spirit. So everything is magical. More practical than the other knights, he improves things for himself and for those he loves with his steadfast and consistent momentum. So it's not overly driven, forgetting to come into balance with the feminine. It's that flow back and forth. Devoted to solidifying foundations. It's that devotion. He assures you that extra care today will multiply your harvest tomorrow. It's time to show fierce loyalty, pride, and trustworthiness, and to tend to your home while uncovering your unwavering ambitions for the future. Sometimes this energy is so stable that it feels repetitive. So if you're feeling resistance, or if you'd kind of prefer to stay in bed, find the joy in your progress. That brings us back to this one, right? The journey is the thing. Uncover heart-stirring enthusiasm by allowing yourself to believe in something brighter. This is a card of infinite expansion, and with time and faith, your seeds will take. Follow through on your plans and promises and move any stagnant energy that's blocking you from your dreams. So isn't that beautiful how Spirit answered us? Well, answered me, and then hopefully it was a question that you had too, because I'm sure a lot of us struggle with this. Okay, I just want to bring us back to that original intention. I'm sorry. Okay, so that original intention was following our bliss over obligation, but obligation can then be seen as not heavy, but as part of what carries us towards our dream or our purpose, which is creative in nature. It's creative, it flows. It's that feminine energy, but we need both the masculine and the feminine. And my message and my gifts are for both men and women, because we both have that masculine and feminine within us. And I think we're all looking to rise above the drama, rise above the control, rise above the fear, and live in freedom and bliss and love and peace and joy. Right? And we can. And I can show you how, if you would like. Either through my videos. I have decided, hopefully decided, I like to leave a little room. But I've decided that I don't want to do like email marketing and stuff like that. I hate that my email is overloaded myself. And I just want to tell you that I have all these free videos where you can follow the free videos and get intuitive insights. But also I will soon be doing individual coaching. And I will soon have my website up, lisareneeauvin.com. So you'll soon be able to work with me either online or in person if you are near me. And I am in one location right now, moving towards another location, both in physical form and in spiritual form. I'm in that bridge in between, as I think a lot of us are. And it can be really difficult. So if you need more support in navigating this, not sure when my website will be up. It's taking a little longer than I wanted it to, but divine timing. Okay, so thank you for watching, and I look forward to working with you in whatever way whatever way works for you, either through my videos, and you can interact with me through comments, or through working with me individually.